everyone, it's ElasticSpyder here from Brothers in Arms World of Warships, and today I have a game in my Kiev on the map Land of Fire, and we are doing standard battle. So quickly going over the matchmaking, we have 2 carriers on each team. It's a TH matchmaking, so semi-good for the destroyers. Lots of battleships. I think I had 2, 4, 5, 6 battleships. 1 Chapayev with radar, 2 other cruisers, and 2 destroyers. This is probably a good. This looks like good matchmaking for me, seeing that there's only 2 destroyers and 1 radar. I should be able to take out the Mutsuki quite quickly, although him spotting me could be kind of difficult for me. So here I'm gonna skip about 2 minutes ahead in the game. There's not much action. I'm going towards the middle with my buddy Yalatov. That he wanted to division up, and I said, well, why not? So here we go. I see a few battleships. The carrier looks like he's hovering his fighters over me, so I just start shooting. If you notice, I am using armored piercing, and I will soon switch to high explosive. There we go. Took me a while, but I see this farragut. I know that I outgun him at range, so I'm kiting him. This is something you should get used to in a destroyer, especially a Russian destroyer. When fighting an American, you want to kite them out and use your speed and gun velocity to basically kill them to death. And here, it looks like both carriers have their planes over me, and here we go. It looks like I'll avoid those torps. I think this guy tried to cross. Yeah, it looks like he tried to cross drop me. He dropped that first set a little bit too soon, but I managed to first of all shoot a plane down and dodge all of his torpedoes. Now I'm still under semi-heavy fire. There's a lot of planes still hovering over me, so I'm not out of the woods yet, or out of the fire, whatever the saying is. So I'm still shooting in this North Carolina. I like shooting at broadside battleships, especially with AP. I do take a semi-decent hit, 1200, probably over pen. But you saw there 1900 damage, and you should get used to seeing this. Aiming at the superstructure, doing, a constant 1600 damage. I've done, I think you'll see it here later in the video. There's 3K. I think I do 4K to a battleship. That's insane with this rate of fire. I actually don't have basic firing training. My current build is situational awareness, last stand, I believe superintendent, and advanced firing training. And my 5th, once I get all 5 points, I will eventually get concealment expert. For my modules, I have reduced the reduced gun damaging. I'll put the pictures on the screen so you guys know what I'm talking about. The reduced your destruction of the guns, so you don't lose your guns. Then I also have aiming modification 1, I believe, so I land my shots that I need to. I believe I don't have a 3rd perk or 3rd tier upgrade. I just don't find that useful, and I think I was being a little cheap. And then finally I have, what would be the last one? I believe it's concealment. Yeah, I think I have concealment the concealment module. But anyways, right here I see that this Amagi is now turning into me. He's angled pretty well, so I decide to try and set fires on him. This is a tactic I like to use and here I smoke up. If the battleship's not giving me broadside, then I just switch to HE and try and burn him to death. And here we go. Colorado. First shot's out. Armored piercing. Again, get used to it, guys. It's, this is almost 10 kilometers, and I've shot at battleships with AP in my Kiev from farther, and I've done good damage. So, I'm starting to make him turn away. Just by 1 destroyer. I'm sure the North Carolina behind me is a little scary, but it's nice to have these battleships turn away and defend my home base. So I'm trying to figure out what I should shoot at here. The Colorado does make a reappearance after getting spotted again. and I'm trying to get my aim down. So it looks like my team has pushed up pretty far on the southeast side of the map. The enemy team seems to be pretty concentrated with me. That is another good 2k salvo. So this is good, but hopefully they don't die. The carriers might slowly kill them off. And you see here, I'm constantly moving in my smoke screen. I know I don't have the smoke boundaries set up, but I'm constantly maneuvering so that in case my smoke gets it leaves me or it runs out. Sorry. In case it runs out, I'm in a position where I can bolt really quickly and I don't have to turn around as much. So this is something I would highly recommend. It reduces the amount of damage you are able to take, given that someone is shooting at you and targeting you, and as a destroyer you are going to be targeted, as this NC, or as you see by the NC, North Carolina. So again, I'm kiting away because I have no room to tank any damage with only 9,600 hit points left. I'm very, very fragile, this Kiev is. But it is not I forgot how the saying goes, a fight to be reckoned with, or something like that. I'm sure you guys know. But, again, I don't want to pick a fight with this Kiev, really, so I'm going to be focusing mainly on the battleships. Turning around here to try and support my North Carolina. My smoke's almost up, another 15 seconds. And hopefully my North Carolina can help me with the chap I have, because the quicker he dies, the happier I am. And I'm about to smoke up here, I think, because obviously the Amagi's shooting at me, but it's a nice opportunity just to get free damage without taking any damage. So here I go, smoking up. Now here, I know previously I said that I would use armor piercing against broadside battleships. Here though, I try to set a fire. Here we go, 10 shots. Not a fire yet. I believe the fire chance on the Kiev is 8%, so hopefully I'll get some good RNG, although as of right now it's not looking like it. Although HE is still doing quite well. You saw a 2k salvo and 528. Still breaking some AA guns, helps my carriers out a little bit. There we go, finally a fire. And then I automatically switch to armor piercing. This is something you want to get used to. I like to set a fire on the battleship so he's at least burning. I don't know if he blew his cooldown yet, but I'm now switching to armor I've since switched to armor piercing just to pump out that little extra damage, and because it's more constant rather than getting 500 and whatnot. So North Carolina, excuse me, pops out behind the island. So again, switching to armor piercing. The North Carolina has a pretty big superstructure in comparison to the Amagi. So far, one fire, 183, well, make that almost 200 hits already, 70,000 damage, and the game's not even half over. Only 4 ships have died from both teams, and with under 500 points for each team, this game is not anywhere near close to being done. And here I take a nice solid 2,000 hit from the Amagi. With 7,000 hit points left, a little over half my HP left, I have to be somewhat careful. The nice thing though is these 3 battleships over here are focused on me and my division mate, Yalatov, who this is my first time playing with. He asked me if I wanted to division up, and I said sure, why not. Anytime you can division up with someone, I would recommend it. So now I'm starting to get focused quite heavily. This North Carolina's turning around, and he's had enough of me. He's tired of me. He's tired of me pelting him with armor piercing shells, but he does not yet know it yet, but I'm firing HE at him. I'm gonna try and set him on fire here. Obviously he's angled, although he is turning around. I don't know why I'm not firing here, but hey, whatever. And here I go to my my division mate and tell him I had a 4k salvo. And it's quite common actually. it's common to see 3,000 damage salvos with these guns on full broadside battleships. So now most of my team has now gone to the southeast side, and it looks like that's where the North Carolina's headed, and the Colorado and the Amagi are trying to push our cap. So, and I'm stuck over here on the west trying to stop them, although my little pea shooters, it seems like, aren't getting their attention. So again, shooting armor piercing at Colorado. There we go again, 4.1k damage. It's quite funny sometimes. So, and it's nice though, definitely with 0.5.9 coming up, I will have basic firing training, since they're making all of the, or not all of the, they're making situational awareness a free perk. So this is nice, so I can bump out that little extra damage with basic firing training. And that is that. So I see this Amagi is almost dead, so I start firing at him, trying to kill him as quick as possible, although my aim is not quite there. Do take a hit from the Colorado secondaries, it looks like, and they unfortunately knock out my engine. Thankfully for the Kiev does, I think, 43 knots base, 42 knots base, so it doesn't hurt me too much, although I do end up repairing it. Since I don't think the battleships will be switching to high explosive anytime soon, so I just decide, well, I mean, the worst they can do is just overpen me with their armor piercing, so I just take the risk of repairing it. Seeing that both battleships are angled, I switch to high explosive and target the lowest health battleship to try and help my team, because currently we do have the lead in ships, but it's always nice to take out a full health battleship, or it's always nice to take out a battleship because it can take out a full health battleship or cruiser in any one salvo. So here I think I get the kill. No, I don't get the kill. 400 damage. This should be a 200 damage. Oh, bounces and ricochets. Meanwhile, the Colorado, I think, shoots at me, and there's my beautiful last shells that finally hit that Amagi. Doing some epic camera work there. You guys can thank me for that later. So I end up using my speed boost here just to get closer to this North Carolina. Switching to HE, sailing away, want to set fires. Now, almost at 400 hits. It's getting kind of ridiculous here. I can only imagine what basic firing training would do. So, there we go. Fire. That's nice. So, trying to help my division mate out with this Colorado. There we go. Switch to armor piercing, smoke up. He's spotting for me, the carrier's spotting for me. This guy should die fairly quickly. Hopefully. And you see here my secondaries. I didn't actually know this until about halfway through playing the Kiev, that it actually has a secondary gun turret. You saw it there shooting, and will I get a hit? Yes, I will. I will get a secondary gun hit. That's hilarious. And unfortunately, I don't think you guys can see that in the replay. But I do manually select my secondaries so they get better accuracy, and then we have 3 hits with our seconds, 4 hits. This is too good. It's a mini Khabarovsk, I guess you guys can say. There's another 2300 salvo. Should be the death. Would be pretty hilarious if I do get another secondary hit. Would have been hilarious if I got a close quarters in my Kiev. Still waiting to do that, I'm sure. So, and there, brag to my division mate, saying easy, and he says, of course. Again, 137 damage, 1,000 damage. That would be kind of pathetic if it was only 137 damage. I'm sure that's how much my secondaries have done. But 137,000 damage. It's a good game. The game is almost over. Just a battle, half health point, hit point. North Carolina left, and 2 lonely carriers. I'm sure I'll be greeting them very soon. And telling my division mate I love this ship, because I do. Really, it's the difference between this and the Mayhem is that it's very hard to do this with with a Mayhem. It's just the shell arcs are too poor that you can really not do this significant damage. Although, as you guys might have seen in my patch 0.5.9 preview, where I was using my Benson, I was shooting armor piercing and doing significant damage, but it's just not the same. It's not as reliable. And another thing is, the Mayhem does have the rate of fire, but these shells just penetrate everything. They're 130 millimeters, and I know that the Mayhems are only 127, so it's not that much difference. But you know, it's just something about these Russian guns that do nasty things to battleships' superstructures. That was not a perverted joke, by the way. Anyway, a little fun here. Hoping to set a fire on North Carolina, I end up doing so. Seeing that he's trying to kill my, I think that's, yeah, it looks like a Colorado. Switching to armor piercing, and even at 11 kilometers, I'm still doing decent damage. Even though it is saturated damage, here we go, 1400 damage from 10 kilometers. And I managed to get high caliber there. And I believe, yeah, the North Carolina sadly dies to my battleship. Sadly dies in the sense that I didn't get the kill. Although, it's nice to have teamwork. Hopefully, now, this is a problem. Hopefully these bombers don't hit me, or go after me for that matter. Although it looks like they are. They could kill me in one hit. Unfortunately, for the carrier, they miss. But that was only 2 bombers. I've got a full health, full squad from a Ryuho? I forgot. Oh, Hiryu. Okay. Unfortunately for me, they all miss again. So, that's good. Four bombs, they all missed. Now I have a problem. I have to deal with these torpedo bombers. Unfortunately for the carrier again, he manages to screw up the drop. Or it was just due to my beautiful handling. The Kiev doesn't handle too poorly. It's certainly not as elegant and as maneuverable as, let's say, a Benson or an American destroyer for that matter, but it is certainly a very, very well handled ship. I'm trying to set this guy's flight deck on fire just to help my friendly teammates, especially my destroyer, just to try and not get his planes up. Here we go, secondary battery. Maybe I should do a secondary battery build on my Kiev. That'd be kind of funny to see. But fortunately, 3 bounces on the Hiryu. My friendly division mate torps the Independence, and he is dead. 1 carrier left. Doesn't look like I'll be able to cap or even kill this Hiryu. We'll see. 40 seconds left. Trying to set a fire on him, and I'm waiting to see if I can get one. One last fire, get some extra damage. I think I do manage to get one here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And the enemy team, them Kievs, yeah, they do have a lot of torps, buddy. You gotta get used to them. And I tell them they're only 4 kilometers. Hiryu, man, ends up putting that fire out just to try and go after my friendly destroyer, pump out some extra damage, but it is too late for him. This battle's over. 3 seconds. Can we get the kill? 800 damage. No! Unfortunately, we were not able to kill, excuse me, the carrier with 800 health left. Anyways, I received 346 credits, 4K base, 170,000 damage. Second place on my team. Unfortunately, the North Carolina beat me out by about 600 XP. And you see here I've done lots of damage and whatnot. The best part is I got 552 hits. That's a personal record for me, and I'm sure it's a record somewhere. But that's all for me. Today, ElasticSpyder here from Brothers in Arms World of Warships. I hope you enjoyed, and please like and subscribe. It really helps our channel out, and I will see you all later.